All right, folks, welcome back. Y'all didn't stop doing the whole break, so y'all can continue. Go right ahead.
So, Jeff, finishing my point on that. I think you need both approaches to the situation of voting rights. You need someone to go in and say, that's doggone it, that's just wrong. But at the same time, you need someone else to go in and have a genuine discussion with Kasich, with the legislator there, and sit down and try to understand. Even if you say you know where they're coming from, there's always wisdom and there's always room for middle ground and compromise.
But I think we're implying that hasn't happened. And so if you look at folks like Alicia Reese and other members of the Black Caucus there in the state of Ohio, I'm from Ohio.
Okay.
I have, so my family is in Ohio. I spend time in Ohio. So, and this isn't new to Ohio. So if you look at Alicia Reese and others, they've been fighting this good fight. They've been attempting to work on both sides of the aisle. They've been rebuffed at every single point. So the scalpel's been taken out of their hand and broken. And there's not a whole lot of cross-aisle agreement making in a House that is overwhelmingly Republican and bullies the state into submission.
Exactly. Here's all I want.
And that's fact.
I just want to be able to sit down with the Secretary of State, with the governor, and say, please tell me why voting on Sunday before was a problem.
Yeah.
Please tell me why, if you had early voting hours that went until 8 o'clock, was a problem. Please,
why was sold to the polls
please tell me why all that was. Because you would think that when voting is working, the turnout in Ohio in 12 was higher than it was in 08.
Right.
You would think somebody would say, that's a great thing.
That's an amazing
right,
thing.
Right, exactly.
That's huge.
So what do? Oh, let's whack it further.
Right.
In Georgia, 3 years ago, whacked it from 45 days to 21 days.
Yeah.
The new bill now says, let's whack it from 21 days to 6 days.
Yeah.
Same thing in North Carolina, same thing in Florida, and so you're seeing the same thing. So it's not to me, it's not by accident.
Right.
The Republican lawmakers are trying to cut early voting because they're saying, dang, well, the ID didn't work last time. Let's try now whack early voting.
Well, bringing voting up, especially in an election, bringing voting rights up in this narrowly defined approach to try to reduce the ability for people to vote is just wrong. I mean, clearly, especially doing it in an election year. It's doubly wrong from a strategic point of view. Now, I know there's a narrow confined group of people in both parties that are fringe on relative issues, and maybe those are the folks they're speaking to. But again, I'm still going to submit and state in my point on the intelligent discussion you said that some of the members were having with them. We got to continue that. I'm not saying don't apply pressure as long as we're doing it both ways.
But there are people's votes at risk. And when people's votes are at risk, we don't have the time to be patient.
Exactly.
There are people in Ohio right now whose votes are at risk, who are being told your vote doesn't matter. And so, Roland, I think you always make the point of what is the action step, right? And so I think people in Ohio need to be mobilizing. I think they need to be supporting those members of the Black Caucus. I think they need to be mobilizing on their own. I think they need to be fighting this. I think we need to engender resources to bring the state of Ohio back into court. And I think that people need to pay attention to Nina Turner's run for Secretary of State. You need somebody as Secretary of State that will fight for voting access, not trying to put pieces in place
the only way to deal with it
all
is
of those
power.
things have to happen.
The only way to deal with it and solve it is to organize on the local level and face it with power, with the vote, with the black vote. That's
the only place I disagree. I don't think that's the only way. I think there's another way.
That's the key way to throw these people out of office.
That's the only place.
I'll tell you another way. Another way should be for Black Republicans, for white Republicans of conscience, to be able to say, we are going to mobilize ourselves and have the courage to go to our Republican brothers and sisters in North Carolina, in Ohio, in these places, and say, what you are doing is wrong.
Since when have Black Republicans ever took a stand like that?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Name a Black Republican that's taken a
Colin
stand.
Powell, when he spoke in North Carolina, was invited there by the Republican governor, and he stood on that stage and called out the Republican governor.
So we have one.
No. It's not just. It's not just one. It's not just one. First of all,
they go silent when these things happen.
No, Michael Steele and others have actually done that, saying, guys, what you're doing is wrong. But the point is, what's next is that has to be there, and that is for folks to say to those members of the party, you're killing us, you're hurting us.
And honestly, I think you are starting to see, on this issue in particular, black Republicans and non-black Republicans beginning to speak to this issue. My only point is it's a lot easier for us to do that when we don't have so much rhetoric that hurts that effort.
Well, you're always going to have the rhetoric. You're going to have the rhetoric.
Right.
But you got to have the right policy.
Right.
Hey, folks, as we close out Black History Month, we'd like to take a moment and recognize a man who's dedicated his life to public service and to bettering educational outcomes for our children. Yesterday, our founder and chairwoman, Kathy Hughes, honored Congressman Shaka Fattah with the Living Legend Award. Check this out.
I'm glad to be here to honor my friend and brother Shaka Fattah, who's doing such a great job in Congress. I've had the pleasure of working with him both back in Philadelphia and now here on the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. He's a real brother who not only is looking out for the general public, but he has a particular interest in our folks.
We decided that this Black History Month, we weren't going to just focus on individuals that were no longer with us, but we were going to select one person and call them our Living History honoree. And this year it was the distinguished Congressman from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Shaka Fattah.
Kathy Hughes says, hey, we want to take a look at what you've accomplished and we want to tell the nation about it. So this is not only someone who helped me get to Congress, but now has come back to take a look. So what have you really accomplished? And communicated it to a community that otherwise it may have went in a way in which they would not have noticed. This is awesome. I mean, just to be lifted up in this way. Kathy Hughes, the Radio 1, TV 1 family is really throughout the nation communicated in a very effective way about the work that we're doing, ranging from education to brain research and everything in between. And so it's just been terrific and humbling.
And of course, we certainly congratulate Congressman Shaka Fattah. But of course, he's a living legend. He's an alpha man. What you expect? All right, I want to thank our panel, Elroy, Lauren, and Jeff. Thanks so much for that great discussion. And so we were looking to see some of those black Republicans challenge folks in Ohio.
Be there, man.
And Georgia as well. All right, folks, if it's too hard to believe, then it's certainly what the hell. Mitzi Miller and Rubatami deal with some of the craziest stories of the week. Also, Judge Greg Mathers, you saw him in that piece, will also be joining us, talking about what can we do to help folks come out of prison to get back into this society and for them to find jobs. So we'll have a great conversation on that as well. Hit us up on Twitter at NewsOne or at Roland S. Martin. It is 28 minutes before the top of the hour. This is NewsOne Now on TV1.